Nerderotic.com.
Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from Nerdrotic.com, and we need to talk about the Star Trek Picard series. It looks like some character breakdowns have come from that hashtag show, and I admittedly do not know much about them. They have a YouTube channel with about 20,000 subscribers. I've never watched it. I will link it in the description. So I don't know how credible this is of a news source. I went and looked other places to see who's reporting it, and I saw Screen Rant is just reporting on their article. So let's go take a look. Now, again, I'm not reporting this as fact or anything. I am just reading their article. Exclusive Star Trek Picard series update with character breakdowns. The Picard series, what we know so far. CBS has been keeping details of the currently untitled Picard series close to the chest, even though it's set to premiere at the end of the year. Little is known about it so far. Currently, we know the following. First season will be 10 episodes. It will take place approximately 20 years after the Next Generation finale, which puts us around 2389. The destruction of Romulus is official Prime canon now. Prime canon. The series itself is also in the Prime timeline, with the Kelvin timeline running parallel to it, whatever that means. As of right now, they will not intertwine. As of right now, okay. Patrick Stewart is returning as Jean-Luc Picard. We knew that. With production set to begin sometime mid-April, the casting department has about 2 months to find the right actors to fill out the rest of the cast, and that means casting notices and current breakdowns. The breakdowns reveal the working title of the series is to be Drawing Room, and lists 7 lead characters in addition to Picard. While the information we have is current, it's always worth noting that it can change at any time. The first character on the list is the main man himself, Jean-Luc Picard, male, and that's all we've got for him. For interviews and assorted other information that has been released, we know that Picard will have been affected by the destruction of Romulus due to his close involvement with building a bond between the Romulan Empire and the Federation, as detailed in the Star Trek prequel comic Countdown. Next, we have Starton, a male of any ethnicity in his early 30s. He specializes in positronic brains and is terrified of space. He's charming in a self-depreciating way and is excited about the research opportunities on Picard's mission. It goes on to say that his demeanor will evolve over the series, but it does not say in what way. Connie, a female who was also in her early 30s. She's African American and has a quick temper, but is also quick to forgive. In addition to dealing with the loss of her husband, she is also avoiding a death sentence on her home planet. She's a mercenary pilot who uses her ship to transport people to and from an artifact of some kind, though the ship is massively overqualified for the job. Lawrence is a handsome man in his 30s of any ethnicity who has a dodgy moral compass. He's the pilot of the ship Picard takes on his mission. Being a capable and enthusiastic thief, his loyalties are questionable. An upgraded EMH? Dr. Smith is a male in his 30s or 40s of any ethnicity. From this description, it sounds like he's an upgrade or wholly new version of the EMH. He's described as a hologram who helps the crew through emergencies encompassing engineering, tactical, science, investigation, and medical issues. He is also programmed to learn but not become too self-aware. He's calm, efficient, and empathetic. It's got to be, wouldn't be Alex Kurtzman without being empathetic. But he sometimes has difficulties sorting out others' emotional reactions to get at the facts. Kabar is the youngest of the leads. He's a 17-year-old Romulan and the only child of what's a mainly female spiritual order. A martial artist and considered a lethal weapon, he's prone to mood swings and committed to living in the moment with as much transparency as possible. He takes his devotion to Picard and his mission extremely seriously, obviously. They're looking to find someone with martial arts experience. That fencing is a plus as well. Well, they should get Jessie from Mindless Entertainment. They can gender swap that character. Indira is a female in her early 20s of any ethnicity. She's extremely smart and physically agile, but maybe not so mature and a bit socially challenged because we need another Tilly in this show. She tries too hard. Her intelligence often gets in the way of her manners. She's cut off from home, and her difficult mission puts a strain on her maturity. She's still finding her way in the wider world. Alana is a female in her mid-40s to mid-50s and is of any ethnicity. She's a brilliant analyst and has great memory despite abusing drugs and alcohol. That's tough, okay? Because I've abused a lot of drugs and alcohol in my time and my memory sucks. Oftentimes, she gets irritated in her own vulnerability and is certain of herself, even if she's wrong. A former intelligence officer, she sees conspiracies everywhere. Oh, I might like this character. Her professional and personal losses weigh heavily on her. So what's it about? While learning all about the characters is interesting in its own right, some of the descriptions also help piece together some of the show's plot. It sounds like they will be playing into Picard's interest in archaeology, and his main mission revolve around some sort of artifact that has been discovered. It's also interesting to note that the only character that has any mention of Starfleet in the description is Starton. While Alana is a former intelligence officer, it doesn't say where from. So now, with all of this information, I have to ask myself if Picard is actually still in Starfleet. So it looks like they're going down the science fiction trope road of ship of lovable rogues. And you know what? Honestly, that's one of my favorite tropes. I love Farscape. Blake 7 I haven't seen, but I've got to see that. Guardians of the Galaxy, Serenity, Firefly. Those kind of shows I dig, and it'd be interesting to put that in the Star Trek universe. Unfortunately, Akiva Goldsman and Alex Kurtzman are behind this show, so it'll just be snippets of nonsensical nonsense chasing after some mystery box MacGuffin, and it will be meaningless emotionally, but it will look fantastic. That is my prediction for the show. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I will expect the worst and hope for the best, as I always have with Star Trek, but anything involving Kurtzman and this prime timeline, I'm not really interested in. So I will cover it for the show and look at it as chronicling Star Trek's demise. Now, I don't want Patrick Stewart to be involved in that in any way, and maybe this is good. I will always keep that option open, and I will tell you if I think it's good. I don't care. I want Star Trek to be better. But Star Trek Discovery is a joke at this point. I don't even take the show seriously. It is a comedy. Last week's episode is quite funny. My next recap will be a breakdown, but it's going to be a specific breakdown on a character, so it'll be a little different. That's coming out on Sunday if you're watching this video on Saturday, March 2nd. Now let's get into the Prime canon, the original timeline canon, and the Kelvin timeline, and how much I don't care. They can do what they want. I think the damage is done. Like I said before, STD is not a show I take seriously, but this is the Star Trek we are going to get. This is it. To me, Star Trek is dead, but very few people like this show, and we'll see if they can support it for years to come. It is my belief that in a few years, the only thing this show will be remembered for, this show being Star Trek Discovery, will be for how much it costs and how much damage it did to a storied franchise. But go ahead, run with this J.J. Abrams Trek aesthetic, the bro Trek aesthetic, because, it's such a hit. It's such a hit that we're getting Star Trek 4. Oh, we're not getting Star Trek 4. And Beyond flopped, and Into Darkness was a major failure. But they continue to run with this, thinking this is what people like, and they clearly do not. And the only way I could prove this is when Spock returned to TV. 25 years he's been gone. He returns to TV and it doesn't trend on Twitter. This show never trends on Twitter. I think that says everything, but whatever. And they renewed it for a third season. Go right ahead. Like I said, hold my beer. That's what CBS is saying. But I think CBS is going to see some real data when the Picard show shows up, because I do believe that we'll get a lot of people watching and they'll go, wait a minute. And I don't think the Picard show will cost as much as Star Trek Discovery. So I think it'll be very bad for Star Trek Discovery when this Picard show shows up, because it will garner a ton of interest. Hell, I'll be watching, and I hope it's good. I hope Indiana Picard and his lovable rogue friends on a ship is good, if this is true, because it does sound kind of interesting. Unfortunately, again, like I said, Goldsman and Kurtzman are involved. Hopefully Michael Chabon takes the reins and makes it great. That I would like nothing more. Just no lens flares, but that's what we're going to get. Hopefully Kurtzman is true to his word that aesthetically each one is going to look different, and maybe they'll try to make this look like an older Trek. I don't know. I'm trying to find a silver lining in this. So let's hope it's good. And if it's not, well, we had a good 55 plus year run of Star Trek. It's kind of where I'm at with Doctor Who and Star Wars, and there's other good things to watch. We have the Orville, thank God. So that is what's going to take priority from now on my channel. By the way, that'll be our next breakdown video. I have a Doctor Who video coming. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments. Have a great day, and may the small folks sing songs of your greatness.
nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.